Today's March 25th, 2018. Today's about going to be 40 degrees out, but really cold with the wind chill, a lot of wind. It's staying cold. We still have snow on the ground. Yesterday was Saturday, the 24th, and yesterday Lois and I have been married 46 years. And we got a package in the mail. She brought it down, and I said I hadn't ordered anything. Here, one of my subscribers had watched my video on popcorn. So I got this package. My son lives next door, and she said, well, maybe it's his, but it's our address. So I opened it, and Ron sent me this, a good friend I met on YouTube. You can see I opened it, I got into it. Until I seen his name, he had got me. I had no idea why somebody would send me popcorn. So he sent me this package with all these flavors of gourmet popcorn. I said, oh man, I love popcorn. So I had one last night. So thanks to you, Ron. And then another friend of mine, Phoenix, said he was putting tires on his bike. He don't have a tire changer. I told him about the Harbor Freight one. I'd like to do a review on it. I upgraded it, make it easier to use. And he was having trouble getting the bead, one part of the bead of the tire in, and I was explaining how, you know, you can pump the tire up a lot more pressure, use a lot of soap. He said he did that, and I told him to go to a little higher pressure. Plus, right where it won't seat, that last little bit, sometimes you can take a rubber mallet and hit down on the tire on the side of it and out. Hit it that way and it'll pop up sometimes, you know, and you have to fool with them. And one time somebody asked me about making my videos and what editing tool I use. Well, the Windows 7 had a movie maker in it. I learned it, did great. Then I went to Windows 10. You don't get the movie maker, they take it off you. So I found it, the same one that was on the 7. I downloaded it free, used it for a long time, and then all of a sudden it come up and said, your trial's done, do you want to buy it? So I bought a different one, used it, then it said it run out, you have to buy it again. I'm like, I thought I bought it forever. Finally I bought one, and just to show you, I have to look at the name. It's called the PowerDirect. I think it's a PowerDirect 16. I looked on YouTube and everybody said it's good for beginners. Well, it's not like just push a couple buttons, you're done. You have to really sit down, put some of your videos in there and play with it and see about it. You know, that's the way I learned. But on the GoPro, today, when you buy something, you have to go into the settings of the GoPro or go to their site and find the manual for it. They don't give you like a real good manual of it. And then you download it. So if you're on a computer working with it, you have to go back and forth. Well, you end up printing it out. So I had the GoPro instruction book for the Hero Black printed out. And that's, you can see that's the size of the book for the GoPro, which ain't bad. I've used it when we was making the wife's movie. They that thick, had to put in a binder. So then the movie maker, I had it downloaded and printed out, and here is the book on it. Now the first set of pages in here, these are I just laid in here, that's all notes on our movie. That's some of them when we were doing it, the scripts and all the names of the people and the segments, you know, we'd write down. We would edit it and say, well, this section needs to be louder. I'd go back and raise the voice on it. That's what these papers are. But this is a PowerDirect user's guide. And that is how thick it is. And it isn't like, well, half of this is English and half is French or Spanish. This is all English. So this is the book on the movie maker I'm using. And we used it a lot of times. And I mean, there are tons. I think I paid like $90 for that editing tool. and it's by Cyberlink. Cyberlink Power Direct User's Guide. And when I had the person to print this out, give it to me, I'm like, you sure this is for that? And they said, yeah, that's it. You download that file and print it, that's it. Oh my goodness, I mean, there is so much you can do with it that I haven't even touched. And I have some more stuff to do with her movie. We want to make a shorter version. The regular movie's over over an hour. I know it's over an hour. We're getting it down to 21 minutes. We have it. And it's a nice little movie. It was like it was going to be originally, and we're going to try to get it on public television, on Filmmakers Corner. So that's what I have to do now. Then once I'm done, I'm going to put some segments in there and start with this and see what all I can do with them. I know you can make it like it's snowing. Just, oh my goodness, so much stuff. Unreal. Unbelievable. Then on the motorcycle, my nephew and I took a ride that one day. It was real nice. We took our first ride of the summer. Great time, man. I mean, you know, you get itchy. So he told me later, we were talking, and he said about he's thinking about getting a different bike, and he is looking at a Harley V-Rod. He has the V-Star, Yamaha V-Star 1100. So he's looking at a V-Rod. He found one online, so he called them, talked to them, and we went up. They gave him a pretty good deal. They're going to take his bike as a trade-in, and then they're going to, you know, get this bike for him, and he's interested. He wants to take it for a drive. They'll let him demo it and, you know, get the final thing, and he's like, you know, I don't know, but and then he asked me, he said, well, what do you think? I said, well, one thing is, if I'm looking at a bike and I say, you know, I can't say, yes, buy it. It's, you know, I mean, the deal's good, but there's no guarantee, you know, I don't know how much guarantee they have. He has to find out, you know, the warranty on it. If they even give him one, I don't know. But you can't look at a bike and say, yeah, buy that one, it's going to do you good. This, you don't know. That thing could break down quick. His V-Star did. We did a lot of work on it, you know. And then he said, well, he was hesitant to tell me because he said, well, you did help with all that work. He said, I thought you'd be mad. And I said, it don't bother me. I said, you buy what you want to. Don't worry about it. I said, you get this other bike. I said, we'll do the same thing. We'll go all over it, this and that. So we're up there looking at it, and I'm standing there, and he's sitting on it, and he says, well, what do you think? And I didn't say much, and he said, I don't think you like his bike. And I said, well, it's not me. You know, it's not what I really like. You know, I'd rather have something else. But I said, don't go by me. Don't go by anybody else. What is it that you like? What do you want in a bike? What do you want to use it for? Is it comfortable? There's always little things you're going to change, but that's minor stuff. And so we started getting on YouTube and watching about V-Rods. And one thing I see some complaining about is the controls are too far forward. You have forward controls, but they're really forward. So somebody said on there's a kit you can buy to relocate them. And, you know, we could do that. And maybe he doesn't like the seat. It's not the original seat, so he has to see about that. Maybe he can make a deal with them to get a better seat, wider. And then the handlebars, he wants a little higher. He's 6'2", 6'3", something like that. And when he's sitting on it, his arms are kind of bent. He wants them a little straighter. And I said you could put risers or different bars on. You might have to change the cables. We can do that. So I told him, buy what you like. Now, I told him, if I see something really wrong with the bike, I'll tell you. But like the internal works, this and that, you know, we can take and look at the oil, smell it. Sometimes that tells you. Smell in the gas tank. Does it seem like it's been set a long time with the gas in it? Of course, they're going to run it, you know, so he can take it for a test drive. So it's going to run all right. But I told him, you go by what you want. Don't listen to anybody else. If you like the bike, you buy it. Don't worry about what somebody else thinks. You know, you go by what you want, because you're going to be the one riding it. You're going to be the one that owns it, you know. So other than that, I don't know what more to tell him. He got his GoPro. He's got all the stuff for the GoPro coming, because I told him, if we take a ride this summer, you want to, do like I do, film it, even if it's just for yourself. Maybe you want to talk over it. Maybe you want to just put music with it, And then his little daughter, he got her last Christmas, he bought her a little quad runner. And I told him, there you go. She got a helmet and everything. He bought a brand new helmet and a brand new quad. I said, put that GoPro on there and let her ride when she's first learning, especially. She's getting onto it and this and that. You'll treasure that, and you can narrate over it or whatever you want to do with it later, and put maybe some music on with it, some music she likes, and then make a DVD of it. And, that would really be something to have. When she grows up, then she can look and remember, when she really got into a quad. So that's what's been going on around here. Been working in the house, doing some things and changing some lighting, stuff like that. But that's about it. Went to Harbor Freight and got a few things. I don't even know where they're at. I put them out here someplace. But this book, when I seen that, I said, oh my God. I'm like, wow. Just... And when we were doing the movie, there was something we come up against, and I'd tell the wife she'd have this book. She started, and boy, we used it. It helped us. But there's so much stuff on YouTube, too, about, making the movies and that, and I'm really getting into it. Then there's a guy on there giving like a course for movie making. And, well, the GoPro, you can do it because you got your movie maker. But, a lot of that stuff, they got the big cameras, huge cameras, and they know all the settings, this and that. But I've been watching that, and I've been learning stuff, because we want to make some more stuff, like some shorts, videos, maybe comedies and stuff, and just stuff like that, even if it's for ourselves, just to enjoy it. And we like making them, coming up with different ideas. So... thanks, Ron, for the popcorn. I told Lois that was for me, not her, but I'll share it. She don't eat much popcorn. Me, I love it. But she's been good to me. 46 years. Now, when we got our marriage license, I thought, it went for 5 or 10 years and it was done. Your driver's license, you get a dog license, any fishing license, motorcycle license, you keep renewing them. I thought that's the way it was. I didn't know that was forever. I told Ron, I said, I got to start reading the fine print on that stuff. That's one contract I didn't even read. I just signed it because we went down and got married. I'm scared to death anyway. I sign anything. So that's what happens. You got to be careful. But it was worth it. And every guys ask me, your age and you've been married all them years. What's the secret? There isn't no secret. A young fellow asked me one time about getting married, and he said, how do you make it work? I said, well, the first thing is make your partner the most important thing in your life. Treat them right, and I said, it'll come around. I was like young guys. I drank, and it's a miracle she stayed with me. But it worked out. But then I realized, as I got older, how, young guys, jackass, I guess we all were. You get that out of your system, then you start enjoying it, and then it's nice. You have somebody with you, always have, a helper, and this and that, somebody to pick on. Of course, I got my nephew for that. Oh my. And then he said something about me riding a bike. I said, I don't want to ride that bike you're buying. You buy it. You're the one, it's not to me, it's you, you'll know how it feels, and then they'll go over it before he takes it. But I said, when you get home, what I suggest is getting a notebook, just like we did with the V-Star. Start writing everything down. The first thing, change oil, even if it looks new. Change oil, it's been changed. The filter, the air filter. And then go all over the hoses, and we just look at everything. You want to check your tire pressure as soon as you get it home, stuff like that. Really go over it. Then you're set to go. And this summer, like I said, we wanted to get down to Kentucky to see that Noah's Ark. And that's going to be over 500 miles. At first, he jumped on it. He said, yes, I'll go. And then he's thinking about it. He goes, I don't know if I can handle 500 miles down and then back. I said, well, I know I can. Been riding for years. And that probably take the Suzuki. It's so comfortable. And, I told him, hey, you want to try it? Go for it. If we get part ways and you start getting sore and you don't want to do it, we can always turn around and come back, do it another time. At least we get out and see different roads. So, thanks for watching my videos. And about YouTube. Have you noticed more commercials on there? Maybe it's just me. It seems like there's more commercials. And then when I watch a video, I'm thinking, I used to put the title, then the video would come on. And I'm like, well, it's in where you look at the link. If you watch my video, you can see what I'm going to talk about. So why put that on? I took it off. Then at the end, thank you for watching. I thought, you really don't need that. That's kind of wasting your time. And some will have like an emblem comes up, or they'll show some things they do, and you watch that every time. They have good videos, but it's on there every time. The music, and then the commercial. Then you go halfway, there's a commercial, and then at the end, they're still talking, and they put like 3 or 4 things up, like a couple other of their videos and this and that. Do you really need all that? Especially one guy, he's still talking and that, and then these come up and they're like distracting. And I said, I don't have commercials, I never will. If there's ever a commercial on my video, it's because YouTube put it on there, not me. So I like to just get to the point, show what I'm going to show, and be done with it. That's the way it's entertaining, I feel, and that's the way I like it if I watch my own videos. When I make a video, I always put it on a DVD so I have a copy of it, and then sometime I like to go back and watch it. But I don't want all that stuff on there. I like it better, but it seems like more and more they're getting more commercials. And then there was a couple I brought up that really sounded interesting. And at the bottom line, you can see the yellow marks where there's commercials. That one I counted, there was 10 of them. I'm like, I'm not sitting through that, and you can't skip it. It says, your video will resume in 5, 4, 3, seconds. I'm like, come on, you got to turn the sound off, wait, turn it back. No, I skip it. I quit, I go to something else. I said, I'll sit through a couple of them, but I ain't going 10. That's too many. So, good riding, and man, I can't wait for summer.